Welcome back to our PCM 25 career mode. In the last episode, we took on the Race to the Sun, Paris-Nice, and today we'll take on Tirreno-Adriatico, 7-day stage race in Italy. Starting off with a completely flat 11k individual time trial. I'm so happy there's no team time trials, by the way. And on stage 2 and 3, both sprint stages. But on stage 4, the road slowly but surely starts to climb with a Punchy stage. 2.8 kilometers at 8.2%, that's actually quite steep. Nonetheless, stage 5 is most likely gonna be the queen stage with the Sasso climb. From memory, I think it's Primoz Roglic that won that stage in 2023 maybe? Casually pretending I didn't just look it up. Anyway, on day 6, more steep short climbs, so a Muri stage, followed by a simple flat sprint on the final day. Looks like one of our main competitors will be Juan Ayuso. Wait a second, Finfisher Black has 80 mountain stat? That's crazy. Gotta say, I'm pretty scared of Mathieu van der Poel on the Punchy stages. Meanwhile, the best sprinter at the race will be Jonathan Milan with a monster lead out in Mes Pedersen. That is insane. Reminds me of Thor Hushovd leading out Tyler Farrer in the early 2010s. Anyway, RGC leader is Lorenzo Finn with 79 medium mountain, 76 mountain stat, but sadly only 69 time trial with a 12km time trial. That might be a problem. Like, for certain we have no competitive rider in this time trial, but I'm hoping to not lose more than a minute in GC. Our first man is on the road, Samuel Watson with 78 prologue, so actually not too uncompetitive, but I'm mostly using him as a bit of a test subject for Lorenzo Finn. That said, Watson is the first rider on the road, so if he doesn't get first here, I'll be shocked. Only by 2 seconds, that's not actually fantastic. Anyway, at least I know I have to do 85 to 86 effort. Okay then, it's time for the Finster. He's on the road, 86 to start off with. +1, so 70 prologue stats, 71 time trial, so hopefully not too bad. Turning towards the first time check, let's take a look what it is. We've got 36 seconds down and it's not even halfway the time trial, so it's gonna be more than a minute. Come on, Lorenzo, how is it this hard? Just pedal faster, bro. In the last few meters, and the finish is 1 minute 27. Ay, that's a lot. That's a pretty bad time trial. Anyway, the winner is Filippo Ganna, beating his teammate Joshua Tarling by 29 seconds, so a proper gap. And of course, our deficit of 127 was on Tarling, so we're 1 minute 56 down on Ganna. Terrible time trial. I guess it's fair to say that the only way is up. Next up is the first sprint stage against the likes of Jonathan Milan, Olaf Kooi, Mes Pedersen, Matthew Brennan. What a list. Especially because we didn't exactly bring the best sprinter here. It is Matthew Fox, 74 sprint stat, but he does have a fitness peak, so that's somewhat okay. Honestly, a top 5 would already be fantastic here. Oh la la, looks like that fitness peak is indeed working. A +2 on Matthew Fox, so 77 sprint stat. That's nice. We're slowly but surely cruising into the last 20 kilometers with one small hill left to come, but I have to say, Watson is a pretty solid last man, but we are missing a third last man, fourth last man, and a fifth last man, so this lead out is not exactly fantastic. In the last K now, getting onto the climb on 88 might be too much, but I'm trying to keep myself in position, and the other teams are doing the same. They are flying up this hill. Over the top now, diving down, absolute chaos on the road, but Fox is still in a manageable position, so we're looking okay. In the last 4.5 kilometers, Fernandez is pulling, but he's not exactly great when it comes to his flat stats, so Omerzel can already take over. Fernandez out of the way, we're kind of blocked in with everybody. Fox with a late energy gel, we're doomed, I think. Last 2 kilometers incoming, Omerzel can launch. Watson as well ready right now. Come on, Watson. Come on, Watson. Come on, Watson. Come on, come on, come on. Fox goes right now. We've got some space somewhere. Come on. Give us space, but we don't have energy. Moschetti is the winner? No, Binyam takes it. I gotta say, I don't even know where we finished. Oh, 5th place with Matthew Fox, so I'm pretty happy. By the way, as most of you know, next to playing Pro Cycling Manager, I also love riding my bike myself. But cycling can be a pretty expensive sport, and that's where Sirocco comes in. Sirocco is a cycling clothing company that makes quality cycling kit for an affordable price. For example, their Aspen and Kaufman bib shorts are perfect for shorter rides, especially for beginners who don't want to spend 200 euros for a bib short. And for longer rides, I use their SRX Elite bib shorts, basically their highest level bib shorts, and they're still affordable. Back in 2024, I finished the Paris-Roubaix Sportive with these bib shorts without a single saddle sore. That's when you know they're pretty good. Anyway, if you like what you see, you can now get 10% off any Sirocco products through the link in the description or using code BenjiNasen. Check out Sirocco. Stage 3 is also a sprint stage, once again with Jonathan Milan as the favorite. And of course I'm hoping for a similar result with Matthew Fox because a top 5 would once again be pretty great. I'm recording this video in the middle of the real life Santos Tour Down Under, and I gotta say, my hype for this cycling season is fully on. I can't wait for the big races to begin. And of course I'd like the races to be super close until the last kilometer like Paris-Roubaix 2016. But I think I'm just so in love with the sport of cycling, so passionate that I'll take anything at this point. Actually, I'd like to ask you, what are your hype levels for the new cycling season? Drop it below. Wow, the peloton's been splitting in these last 35 kilometers multiple times. Once again a gap, but it is getting close, so I decided to make my sprint train early. I'll move myself to the front. Fernandez, get off the front of the peloton, buddy. Anyway, no splits anymore. In the last 20 kilometers, it looks like the last 10k goes slightly uphill, but the final sprint is downhill, so gotta keep that in mind. Wow, this final is so chaotic, but our sprint train is looking pretty okay, but my energy is not exactly looking fantastic now. So last 3.3 kilometers, Watson is ready to lead out, but he's gonna have to go early. This is not looking good at all. Watson, come on, my friend. Omerzel launches Watson in the wheel launch right now. We've got Fox as well. We are so far behind, so incredibly far behind last kilometer, but this is useless. Absolutely useless. We've got a victory for Casper van Uden ahead of Madis Mikkels, but it looks like Watson is gonna beat Fox here. It's fair to say that was a bit of a disaster class. A mere 17th place, so I'd like to forget about the stage as soon as possible. So it's finally time for the climbing to begin. We've got a Punchy stage on day 4 here of Tirreno. Tortoreto climb times 4, Punchy climb, so Mathieu van der Poel is the favorite. I don't think it's realistic for us to win here, so my goal is simple, not losing time. Lorenzo Finn with a +1 on the day, so 80 hill stat, but only 63 sprint, 73 acceleration. It's gonna be hard to compete. Anyway, in the last 60k and the 4 climbs are about to begin, it's all about keeping myself in position for the first 3, so let's focus on that. Gotta say, the first 2 climbs were actually quite easy to survive, so now heading towards the second last one, Fox is getting water for the team, Fernandez is positioning us on, let's say, 80, let's try and make sure we don't lose any positions here. And again, over the top quite perfectly, so our team is doing a fantastic job. 1 climb left. Last 4 kilometers now, Watson doing a fantastic job positioning the team for this final climb. There we go, 99 into the foot. That is perfect. Omerzel can take over on, let's say, let's do 90 to begin with, maybe 91. Watson off the front, Lopez in the wheel, Finn in last wheel, NSGL way too late, but we're doing pretty well at the moment, so I'm cooking something up. That's a move on the right side of the road. Pidcock goes with 1.7k to go. Omerzel can launch it. Lopez in the wheel now can launch it right now. Ooh, wrong button. Finn is ready as well. Come on, Finn. Against Simmons and Germani. Finn's gonna do it. Oh my god. Lorenzo Finn is gonna do it. Lopez. Oh la 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 la, what a lead out! Lorenzo Finn is winning a stage at Tirreno-Adriatico, our first World Tour win of this season. Lopez comes in second then. What a fantastic final. Even taking some time on the road, a brilliant outcome. Absolutely perfect execution by the entire team, and in the end, a beautiful victory for Lorenzo Finn. But of course, he's literally in Narnia when it comes to GC, so we're pretty far back still. Not even close to the Maglia Azzurra. When I saw Tom Pidcock launch on the right side of the road, I knew I had to respond with Omerzel, and then Lopez followed that up, followed by the final hit by Lorenzo Finn. What a beautifully stunning victory. I've already said it, but that's our first World Tour win this season, so yes. Of course, at the moment we are floating on a beautiful stage victory, but the mountain stage is here. Sasso Teto medium mountain finish. Carlos Rodriguez is the favorite, but let's be honest, everyone and their dog knows that it's gonna be once again a victory for Lorenzo Finn, our man. Let's go for the back-to-back. Oh la la, in the words of McDonald's, I'm loving it. A +1 on Lorenzo Finn, so 81 medium mountain. Let's win this shit. Just about 30k to go, but still a few ups and downs before the final climb actually starts. And in the peloton, we are looking pretty good. I'm trying to keep myself on as low an effort as possible and stay at the front of the peloton to be as fresh as possible at the final climb. But now the final climb is truly starting with ourselves in a perfect position on the right side of the road. Still a break ahead with 2 minutes 30, but it's a climb finish, so I don't care too much about the breakaway. There goes Tobias Vos setting tempo for UAE. I don't want to lose too many positions here. 6.5 kilometers to go, still in an okay position. We've got O'Connor moving up on the right side. Watson is almost done for, so Fernandez can take over. Omerzel almost ready to work as well, but not much is happening so far. Last 4.5 kilometers, Lopez is ready to protect Finn pretty soon as well. We've got a really good position. Morgado is still up here. O'Connor is still up here. There goes the first move. That is Ayuso attacking. Let's try and go 89 right now, 90 maybe. I gotta try and follow. It's only 3.3 kilometers to go. We've got Lopez now ready to protect ourselves. Come on, let's get back. Ayuso has a gap. Ayuso has a gap on the other's end. I've got some energy, so what if I try to attack away from the guys I'm with? We're going to be fighting for a podium here. I think Ayuso's getting away for the stage win, but a podium in GC is very possible here. Last kilometer right here. We've got plenty of good riders still in the group here, but I'm going to try and bridge towards the front now. Last K. Come on, Finn. Come on, Finn. There goes the attack. We are getting close, but the winner is going to be Maxim van Gils from the breakaway. Ayuso right there. Lorenzo Finn in third place, which I think is the best result we could have gotten here. And actually, I'm talking about a potential podium in GC, but we're so far back in GC that I don't know where we'll finish after this. Like, I am happy with a podium finish on the stage, but everybody is in the same time, so I'm a bit worried for GC. Wait a second, Filippo Ganna is still in the lead of this race. Ayuso on 15 seconds, but I was hoping for more with Lorenzo Finn. 6th place on 1 minute and 7 seconds. The podium is still far away. On to the second last stage and last GC stage of Tirreno now with Jorgen Nordhagen as the favorite. But as you can see from the profile, it's one of those typical Tirreno-Adriatico Muri stages with short steep climbs. I think I need to try to split the peloton somewhere because Lorenzo Finn, I want this guy to end up in the top 5. And just a punchy sprint at the line will not be enough for that. Starting this one off with a 0 day on Mr. Finn, that is 79 Hillstad, might be enough to make a difference. I think my go-to strategy is on this steep short climb with about 35 kilometers to go to absolutely try to shatter the peloton and hopefully drop a top 5 GC rider. Oh my god, a breakaway of 19 riders up the road with 3 minutes. That is actually quite dangerous. But actually, I don't really care if the break wins or not because my only goal is moving up in GC, so I'll let Alpecin and Ineos take care of that. But I'm considering starting my attacks earlier on the third last steep climb. So with about 70 kilometers to go, Fox can go to the front on 99 and hammer that climb. There we go, onto the steep climb. Fox is not exactly a good puncher, so I don't feel like it's working, but Fernandez can bring it over the top with the team in the wheel. Let's do this. Come on, guys. There we go. And we are kind of not doing too much here. Yeah, over the top in a peloton of 146 riders. So a lot of yapping, but no actual splits. I am still pacing with Watson, but I'm spending so much energy with these activities. I have to give it all or nothing on this next climb. There we go, onto the climb with Watson on, let's say, 91, 92, 93, something like that. Not too much from the get-go, but now we speed up on the climb itself and we're gonna move towards 99 over the top. Is that a possibility? Back down to 93. I need to split it over the top, so that's what our plan is. Omerzel right now can take over and Watson can try and follow. The peloton is still 97 riders, but I reckon the descent is gonna split it. The peloton did split in multiple grooves, but it looks like it's gonna come together. O'Connor is behind those, so one of the top 5 riders is on a gap. But he's back. Not yet. Now he's back. Honestly, everything we're trying, it is simply not working. I guess I'll have to recover and try again on the final climb with 2 riders left, Lopez and Finn. By the way, with 8 kilometers to go, the break has like 3 minutes, so they're definitely winning. But I've got one last chance to launch it, so let's try to do that. Lopez and Finn are trying to go right now on this climb. I will go all out with Mr. Lopez right now, and Finn can launch it from the wheel over the top. Let's try and do this. We've got Van der Poel in the wheel. We've got no gaps on others, so it's not really working, but maybe over the top we can try and get a gap somewhere. August is following. Van der Poel is suffering. Finn has a small gap. Come on, man. 2 kilometers to go. Small downhill. We can do this. Actually, it's 3K to go. The 2 kilometers to go was for the breakaway, but I'm still gonna try and launch away in these final 2 kilometers, but it is uphill, so I think I'm ruining myself by already going. Let's do 99. We've got a gap of 8 seconds on Mathieu van der Poel and so forth, but are there any GC riders behind? Fisher Black's on a gap. So that's good. He's a top 5 rider. We are still in the group. Come on. Have a gap on the others, Finn. Keep going. Last kilometer. Mathieu van der Poel is going to be the first rider of the GC group, I guess I'll call it. But there are perhaps some gaps in this group. And Fisher Black is not part of that group. So it is maybe possible, if this gap is large enough, to get into the top 5. Gotta say, that was a super chaotic stage and we tried so hard every single climb to try and split it, maybe a bit too hard to the point that I didn't have teammates for the final climb, but maybe it worked. At the end of the day, Andrea Vendrame is the stage winner, but we finished 21st. But the more important question is, where is Fisher Black? He's on a gap of, ooh la la, half a minute. And of course, that means Lorenzo Finn is now 15 GC. We've got our top 5 with a single sprint stage left. 4 seconds on Fisher Black. What an achievement. And by the way, despite the mountain stage, Filippo Ganna is the winner of GC. That is absolutely crazy. Time for the final stage then, a simple pure sprint. And of course, no surprise, Jonathan Milan as the favorite. Once again, if I get anywhere near a top 5 with Fox, I'll be happy. It's honestly a pretty calm stage, so I'd like to give you a bit of a behind the scenes. I started recording PCM this morning at about 9 AM and it's now, 4 PM, so it's been a busy recording day, but I've recorded both the last episode and this episode as well, so it's definitely been productive, but it also shows I've really been enjoying PCM recently and I love that feeling, you know? Anyway, the next step is then me sending my video footage that I've recorded to Joe Timsowski, who also edits my videos, so massive shout out. Check out his channel. And when Joe finishes the edit, I do one final watch through to make sure there's no mistakes in the actual edit before you guys can see it right here on YouTube. And that is basically the process of how my PCM videos are made, so quite a bit of work goes into it, roughly 9 to 14 hours I would say per video on average. But at the end of the day, I'd rather upload 2 videos per week that are actual quality than 7 videos that kinda suck. Anyway, time to focus on the sprint. It is maybe a little bit risky for Lorenzo Finn to be part of my sprint train, but he really wants to give back to my team after the week of domestiquing, so he's my 4th last man. We've actually got a pretty solid position on the right side of the road, but we're kind of blocked in by Picnic Postenel here, so hopefully we can find a way through with Lorenzo Finn here in the last 5.4 kilometers. Fernandez, buddy, don't block your team. Ay, what was that? Energy shell on Matthew Fox. Omerzel is ready to do something. Picnic is collapsing completely because Van Uden is going to the wheel of Mr. Girmay on the left side of the road. Omerzel is taking over. There goes Omerzel. Come on. Watson in the wheel, ready for a perfect lead out. Last 2 kilometers. There goes Watson. Fox in the wheel of him. Last 1.4, last 1.3. Come on. Fox goes on the right side of the road, but Binyam's going to win with utter ease. Or does Van Uden come around? No, it's Binyam Girmay winning in San Benedetto del Tronto, but it's going to be a top 10 spot for Matthew Fox. And where is Finn? Is there a gap? There is a small gap maybe, but I don't think that's a gap. Nah, the peloton will be all together. So yeah, in the end, Filippo Ganna is the winner of Tirreno-Adriatico. Bit of a shocker. Juan Ayuso second, and Mr. Lorenzo Finn slipped into the top 5 on the final GC stage. That is pretty beautiful. Anyway, 7th and 9th on the final stage. Not exactly the greatest performances in humankind, but I'm still happy with my Tirreno. Especially after winning stage 4, our first World Tour victory with Lorenzo Finn. And a really nice top 5 in GC thanks to that final GC stage. I think it's fair to say Tirreno was a success. And after both our Paris-Nice and Tirreno performances, we're looking pretty good in the World Tour ranking. 2nd place still with 1,000 points on Red Bull, but 3,000 points behind UAE, not exactly surprising. It is quite early to say, but I think we'll have zero trouble with UCI points this year. Putting stage races to the side, there's one more one-day race I want to do today. Milano-Sanremo, the first monument of the season. Despite the Cipressa and the Poggio, Jonathan Milan is the favorite for this. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the combination of Lukasz Kubiš and Matjaž Kopečky can lead us not only to a podium, but I believe in a victory. Yes, I think I can win Milano-Sanremo. Oh my goodness, Kopečky with a +2 on the day, so 76 hill stat and 76 sprint. Kubiš the same thing, 77 hill, 76 sprint, so I think we're going for Kubiš. Like, I know spending 275 kilometers in a breakaway is kind of unpopular, but not a single rider in the break today? That is kind of sad for a monument. Can I just go on a random rant? Usually during the cycling season, I find it a lot harder to stay consistent on the bike and keep riding 4 or 5 times per week. So this year I signed up with a personal trainer to do 1 strength session per week to kind of make sure I've at least got that every week, you know? But I gotta say, yesterday's workout with lots of split squats, which that's human torture, by the way. My entire body today is crying for help. I have literally never been this sore in my entire life. Considering I've been playing Pro Cycling Manager since 2005, I reckon if you count together the time I've spent looking at PCM going times 8, I've probably spent a month of my life doing this. That is kind of scary to think about. Wait a second, it is possible to look behind you with the number 9 on your numpad? And I guess also with number 7? What? I've been playing this game for so many years and I didn't notice. In the last 38 kilometers and Matthew Brennan has been caught, I've got my train already set up, but that's mostly to keep everybody in position. Ola, a couple of attacks before the Cipressa starts, including Morgado and so forth, but I don't really care too much. I feel like those attacks are going to be controlled fairly easily. Milan Erzen into the foot of the Zach Erzen, sorry, Milan is his dad. Zach Erzen is doing the lead out on the Cipressa. I don't want to spend too much energy here though, so I'm trying to keep it together. Erzen is basically done for halfway the Cipressa, so Schwarzbacher can take over on 87. Erzen, out of the way, buddy. Your day is over. And as expected, unlike real life, the Cipressa is kind of a dud. The whole peloton is still together. Now it's time to move towards the final climb, the Poggio di Sanremo. There we go, onto the climb. Watson is pulling at the front on, let's say, 94 from the foot. We've got Veldhofer, Finn, Kopecky and Kubic left, so looking pretty solid. Down to 92. I don't want to go too hard. My goal is to win a versatile sprint. We've got Simmons with the Milan train on the ride. I do want to hurt Jonathan Milan, so I gotta push a little bit. Veldhofer can take over pretty soon. The climb's already past the halfway point, so 95. Kopecky with the energy gel at the moment, that is good. Finn is ready to launch it pretty soon towards the top here on, let's say 97. We've got Wout van Aert and so forth going, and we're actually quite far behind. Oh, no. Ay. Kopecky is down in the descent. Not even in the descent, over the top. That is crazy. Anyway, Finn is now gonna be my lead out, which is not ideal, so let us get into the wheel of maybe Antonio Morgado. Let's try and move up. We've got Kubic with energy gel. We've still got Kubic, so we're still in the game. Come on, team. Descent is basically done for. Finn at the front on 99. 2.5 kilometers to go. I'm ready to launch pretty soon right now. Kubic in the wheel of that. Let's wait. Come on. As long as possible. Now goes Kubic. Watson in the wheel for some reason, but there goes Kubic. Against Jonathan Milan. Come on, Lukáš. Go! Faster! Yes! Milano-Sanremo! We win a monument with Lukáš Kubic! This is crazy! I'll be honest, I was panicking at the top when Kopecky crashed, but we pulled it together. Finn with the perfect lead out, even though he can't even sprint. And Lukáš Kubic, what a man! He's a monument winner! Look at our boy on the podium. Lukáš Kubic, what a beautiful victory. Jonathan Milan who? Jonathan Milan not so fast apparently, because Lukáš Kubic absolutely destroyed him. I said it before we started, I believed that we could win Milano-Sanremo, but what a beautiful way to do it. Yes, we won a monument. Like, I know we've won lots of races already, including a World Tour win at Tirreno, and even in the last couple of years, Grand Tour stage wins everywhere, but I gotta say, winning MSR that way, that is arguably the most beautiful victory we've had in this series. And definitely the most important one. Anyway, next episode we'll start off with Catalunya and some cobble classics, so that should be fun. But that's the end of today's video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.